This video is now in session, and Gavin Newsom's poll numbers are dropping by a lot. So this relates to what the title of this video is, which is a California recall effort on Gavin Newsom. It relates to that title because job performance in California gubernatorialship reflects the chances of a governor being recalled. So if we look at the polls, it originally was 64% job approval for Gavin Newsom, and the poll was taken just as COVID-19 was starting. But now it has plunged down to 46%, and this was conducted by the University of California, Berkeley. Now, Berkeley, the pollster is not one of the highest quality pollsters, but it is still indicative of how badly Gavin Newsom handled the COVID-19 crisis. And if you don't know what a recall is in terms of political elections, then I'll just quickly summarize what a recall is. In California, they have a system called a recall, and to initiate a recall, you have to have 12% of the signature. You have to have 12% of the people who turned out in the last gubernatorial election in order to initiate a recall. And if that candidate is successfully recalled, then they cannot. Then they are no longer part of the governor. They are no longer the governor of California. So if we look at past precedent, this has happened before. Let's just take a look at 2002. This was the election where Gray Davis was elected as the governor of California, but then he bungled his job, and as a result, there were enough signatures, 1.3 million signatures, to recall Gray Davis, and he was successfully recalled. So as a result, Arnold Schwarzenegger, a Republican, was able to win the California gubernatorial election, and it was by landslide margins. So now let's fast forward to 2018. Gray Davis is definitely worse than Gavin Newsom in terms of the recall efforts, but nonetheless, Gavin Newsom is starting to get worried, privately speaking, about the recall efforts. And right now, there are 1.3 million signatures, and this includes valid and invalid signatures. So for California, even though you need 12% of signatures, they all need to be valid. So most likely they'll need just 700,000 more signatures because they want to get to 2 million signatures, even though the amount needed is 1.5, since they're bound to have invalid signatures. But the fact that they're getting close to halfway done with valid signatures, saying that Californians want Gavin Newsom recalled, is pretty frightening should be pretty frightening for Democrats, because if Gavin Newsom is successfully recalled, which honestly I don't think is a likelihood, but I do think that a recall petition is going to be inevitable, where they get 2 million votes, or 2 million signatures, I mean. So if Gavin Newsom is recalled, then Republicans are going to immediately start targeting California's gubernatorial election in 2022. And it's not like it's not like the 2022 election will be a landslide for Democrats. You may think that California is a landslide for Democrats, but if your candidate is recalled, then a lot of those people will most likely not vote for your party, or for your party's new candidate, and most likely will vote for the other side. That's what happened in 2003. Arnold Schwarzenegger was able to win by very, very large margins. So the Republicans are definitely going to target this seat in 2022, even if Gavin Newsom isn't recalled, and there sure will be Democrats, even if Gavin Newsom evades the recall effort. There will certainly be Democrats who will run to try to primary Gavin Newsom. So what should Gavin Newsom be doing then? Because right now he's in a pretty bad situation. Luckily, the COVID cases have started to go down, which is good for him politically, but back then it was very large, and in late 2020, he was seen at a birthday party in a restaurant without wearing a mask. So a lot of people got angry at him. So the best thing he can do is to align himself with policies and protocols of Joe Biden for COVID-19. If he aligns himself with that, that would be pretty good for him. It would help lower the cases in California and as well as speed vaccination efforts. And the reason why specifically he should be following Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in their COVID-19 efforts is because California's approved Joe Biden's COVID-19 effort. They approve of Kamala Harris's COVID relief efforts. So if Gavin Newsom just rides that train, and if he's able to continue to get cases to go down, then he can potentially salvage himself. But Democratic operatives will definitely need to take a part in playing against the recall efforts. Right now, they are worried themselves about a recall effort for Gavin Newsom, which is why they're starting to kick into gear and starting to quote go into war with the recall efforts. So that's all I have to say for this recall effort. If Gavin Newsom is recalled, that would be very bad for Democrats in 2022 for the California gubernatorial election. If Gavin Newsom is not recalled, then they really need to get the COVID relief back together. They need to lower the cases substantially in order to have a good shot at winning a landslide in a California election. So that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This video is now adjourned, and I'll see you in the next one.